off that car. We're taking you in. Control, we've got 4222 here. 4222, QFK. I'm pursuing a 40. All units, 4222 is in a code 3 pursuit. Please respond.
It's that time of year again, folks. It's time to start talking about Need for Speed 2021. It's time to give the developers of Need for Speed some feedback on what we want from the next Need for Speed game and the future of the NFS franchise. So, of course, we are a few months off of the final update of Need for Speed Heat. I wanted some time to adjust to, you know, Need for Speed games from this generation that I hadn't played before, Need for Speed Payback, and I needed a new PS4, otherwise I would have made this video a long time ago. But I got a new PS4 now, so it's finally time for me to make a video on it. We're going to be doing this every week, pretty much. This is going to be a little series leading up to the release of the next Need for Speed game. This one is going to be a little bit of an intro. We're going to be talking about 3 or 4 topics. Pretty much the basic topics, but in future episodes we are going to go a lot more in depth. So if there's anything you want me to talk about, whether it's little or big, it doesn't matter. I don't mind making a little 5-minute video on something really small that you would like to see, that a majority of people would like to see. Now, of course, we are not just going to be discussing things from Heat that I want to be carried over or things that Heat I want removed. We'll discuss things from Rivals 2015 and Payback. Now, of course, there are a little bit of differences right here. Of course, it's not Ghost Games making Need for Speed anymore. Of course, we already know about that. If you just watch this channel, you would already know about that. Criterion Games are now in charge of the Need for Speed franchise, and there is a lot more uncertainty. Just before, it was just uncertainty with Need for Speed Heat, but now it's with not just Need for Speed 2021, but the future of the Need for Speed franchise. And there's a lot of things that people are thinking are going to return, and they don't want to return, and they're scared for the franchise. And that's why people like me and a lot of other YouTubers need to be making these videos. It doesn't matter whether you are big or small. Make these videos. Make your voice heard in the Need for Speed community, and you just need to voice your concerns, pretty much. And we'll make Need for Speed 2021 the game that we want. So I've got a few topics on my phone right now that we're going to talk about. And without further ado, let's get into the first one, and arguably, after Need for Speed Heat, the most important. Proper multiplayer at launch. I'm not sure how on earth they could fail for 2 years, 2 games in a row at this small, like, basic detail by now. Forza's got pretty good multiplayer. The Crew 2 has pretty good multiplayer. Name any racing game, they probably have good multiplayer. Need for Speed is never in the discussions. Need for Speed Payback didn't even have free roam. Online free roam, they didn't have it until 2018. The next year. Like, that is dumb. It's stupid. And Need for Speed Heat doesn't have competitive multiplayer at all. No speed lists. Yeah, sure, it's got PvP with the little races you can join. But Need for Speed 2015 had both of these things, which is really weird to me. Yes, I'm sure they have to work on the single-player version of Need for Speed, sure, because 2015 didn't have single-player, of course. You were always all-drive, online, always. But surely it's not that much work, right? 2015 had both the story, the online free roam, and the speed lists. Payback has both, but only because free roam got added afterwards. And Heat doesn't have speed lists at all. All you've got is the free roam. The game dies out so quickly, and people, I cannot believe some people actually wonder why we all say the game is dead just 4 or 5 months after the game has released. Because of this very reason. For Payback, it was because there was no online free roam, and for Heat, it was because there was no speed lists. Now, I'm going to be discussing this a lot in the next few months, in the next year, pretty much, numerous times, talking about what we want from the multiplayer. I'm just going to be really basic with it right now. I want Need for Speed Most Wanted 2012 has the best multiplayer in any racing game, in my opinion, okay? You can't fault me for that. Most Wanted 2012 was pretty much Burnout Paradise, but yeah, it was pretty much Burnout Paradise's multiplayer, but I'd like to see a little less Burnout, but that game was Burnout pretty much. But it was fun. Those speed lists were fun, but the speed lists we've had since 2015, they aren't fun at all. So at the very least, can we change it? I'm sick of the, you know, they're really basic, let's be real. You know, whether we have them or not, we can all agree that speed lists from Need for Speed 2015 and in Payback, they're pretty basic. They need to be changed. We need something fun. Add some mini games, you know, like hide and seek, perhaps. Maybe even a prop hunt mini game. You know, disguise yourself as one of the traffic cars or as a lamppost in a district. You know, like mark off a district. Like for example, in Heat, mark off Bayview Park. And, you know, become a tree or some, well, not a tree, but like a car, a traffic car, a police car, or anything, you know? Basically, that is hide and seek. Maybe Marked Man from Burnout. Bring the things from Burnout that we like, okay? I've been hearing a lot of things about bringing the Burnout brake to drift back, the Burnout crashing. They would be really stupid to do that. So let's, fingers crossed, they aren't stupid. And we'll get a Need for Speed game next year. No off-roading. The fact I even have to say that pretty much speaks volumes of how out of touch the developers of Need for Speed can be at times. Whether it's Ghost, whether it's definitely Criterion, they were definitely out of touch. Hopefully not this time around though. We will see. But off-roading, it just doesn't belong in Need for Speed. Need for Speed is a illegal street racing game, okay? Down to its core, or, you know, highway racing game if you want to add in Hot Pursuit. Off-roading does not feature in, whether you're a Hot Pursuit fanboy, Underground fanboy, or the both, and you don't care for either. I think we can all agree that off-roading just doesn't belong in Need for Speed. It was absolutely atrocious in Payback, and it's pretty much useless. You just do a driving story and that's that. I've been invited to racing events online 4 times. This doesn't include me and TJ, by the way. By other people in the Need for Speed community, people we don't know, other players in our servers. In Heat, I have been invited 4 times. TJ even less. So I think that speaks volumes about what the Need for Speed community really thinks of off-roading. Yes, I know there's going to be people in the Need for Speed Discord or people like in the Reddit as well that are going to be like, oh, well, I like off-roading. That's fine. That's completely and utterly fine. If you like the off-roading, that is cool. Good for you. Carry on playing Payback and Heat because we don't want it in the next game. Stop nerfing the cops. My God. I am sick and tired of having my game experience ruined, and I bet a lot of you hardcore players feel the same way as well. We're sick of our experiences being ruined because some casual schmuck plays Need for Speed Heat for about 2-3 days, gets busted a bunch of times, and starts crying about how the cops are too difficult. No! You're just not good at the game. That is what a game is meant to be about. That's what most video games are meant to be about. We are supposed to find it a challenge and overcome those challenges. And then when we beat the game, we feel good about it. The fact that you have to complain about that is just stupid. Because you're not even going to be playing the game the next week. Especially you reviewers out there. You know who I'm talking about. The ones who play the game, review it, complain about the cops, and then what does Ghost do, or what does Criterion do? They nerf them. They nerf the cops, and the police are so easy to beat now. Honestly, you can escape a Heat level 5 with a stock car at this point. I remember early on in the career mode, I was scared to go past Heat level 3. I never got busted during my entire playthrough, of the story, by the way. You can go check that out. We had a lot of fun there. That's when the game came out. I played the game from day one and beat it. I didn't get busted because I was very careful. You had to be strategic against the cops back in release days, back before the patch, obviously. And they nerfed the cops, and they've made them so goddamn easy. And it was the same thing in Need for Speed Payback. Stop nerfing the cops. Don't you dare, Criterion. Don't you fucking dare do it the next game. I swear. Please, please do not nerf the cops. I'm sick and tired of this game being too darn easy. That's basically what we want. Need for Speed Heat 2, okay? Without off-roading and with PvP at launch, or at least the first patch, at the very least, okay? Do not go into 2022 with no multiplayer. Otherwise, I and a lot of other people are going to be fuming. Hell, some people are going to be fuming by Christmas. Make sure you've got that nailed down. And Criterion, I have a lot of faith in you to make a good multiplayer. It's just everything else I'm worried about. Please do not change what Ghost Games has built upon with Need for Speed 2015 and Need for Speed Heat. Build off of those foundations. Don't make your own foundations. Don't build off of Hot Pursuit 2010 or Most Wanted 2012. Work on what we've got. What everyone wants is either Hot Pursuit or Underground. What is the mesh of those two? Most Wanted, Carbon, Undercover, and now Heat. We need more of that with a lot more playability, I guess. Things that are going to keep us playing 6 months afterwards, because 6 months after Heat came out, the game was dead. The game was dead after 4 months, never mind 6 months. So make sure you don't do that again. Please, Criterion, I beg you. Okay, last thing to talk about is actually a little rumor that has surfaced recently. As recently as September 25th. So 5 days ago, which is really, really recent. And what I read in this article was very, very worrying. But take this with a grain of salt. Rumor, next Need for Speed game has begun motion capture. That's kind of good news. Will contain motorcyclists and emotes. Original story. EA have seemingly begun the motion capture process for the next Need for Speed game and will contain motorcyclists / bikers and dance emotes. According to an Instagram post made by a hired actor. Alex New, who according to his LinkedIn page is a self-employed actor / dancer, revealed in an Instagram post that he has been hired by EA to do motion capture for the new Need for Speed video game. The post also reveals other little details about Criterion's Need for Speed game, with mention that his motion capture sessions involve performing actions and movements for the male characters throughout the game, such as racers, drivers, motorcyclists, and civilians. So there's actually going to be civilians in the game for the first time since Need for Speed Payback. So I think Payback was the only one that had civilians. So that's going to be pretty cool. I'm looking forward to that. In addition to this, New revealed that player avatars, which made their first appearance in Need for Speed Heat, will return in the next Need for Speed game. That is good. I did like the player avatars. What I don't like is everything else. But we'll also seemingly have the ability to dance, which could mean we see the addition of emotes in this next title. End quote. Emotes. Dance emotes. Motorcyclists. Bikes in Need for Speed. It doesn't sound promising, does it? No, bikes do not belong in Need for Speed. Now, surely this, again, like I said, take it with a grain of salt. It really could be motion capture for the villain or the hero or something. I mean, Officer Torres had a motorbike in Need for Speed Heat, of course. I really, really hope that is it, because I don't want to be forced to use bikes in Need for Speed. And as the year goes on, I will be making more videos on this if I have reason to. Obviously, I could make a full video out of why I don't want bikes in Need for Speed, but here's the gist of it. They've never been in the game. It wouldn't suit it. Can you imagine bikes in a game like Need for Speed Underground, or Need for Speed Hot Pursuit, or Need for Speed Most Wanted, or even Need for Speed Heat? It just doesn't work. Also, what are the customizations going to be? Need for Speed is all about customization. Criterion, you better not be planning what I think you're planning, because oh my god, it's like you're trying to kill the franchise. Look, bikes, they're in the Crew 2, okay? I think we'll leave it at that. They don't need to be in Need for Speed. And as for dance emotes, it's fucking 2020, and it's going to be 2021. The fact that you're even considering to have dance emotes in 2021, in a 2021 game, in Need for Speed, is so dumb. I don't know. Just Criterion, please, 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 I beg you, do not make Need for Speed an embarrassment. Do not make Need for Speed an embarrassment to play. I swear to God. Dance emotes, bikes, I might get over. I'll have to ignore it. Bar that you force us to use them in the story, you better not, because I will not be a fan of that. But dance emotes, no, no. And I think there is absolutely nobody who can disagree with me in that aspect. No dance emotes, none at all. Do not even think about it. And if you have already done you've obviously already done motion capture for it, bin it. Do not put that in the next game. I swear, Criterion. Don't you dare. Well, that's it. A little bit of a rant there at the end. I do apologize for that, but honestly, it's justified, okay? But that is it for this video on Need for Speed 2021. If there's anything you would want me to discuss, I already have a list on my phone. List of videos that we're going to discuss. I'm going to be revisiting Need for Speed Rivals next week, so if you guys want to watch that video, make sure you hit that like button as hard as you possibly can on this one. If you want to see more Need for Speed 2021 wishlist videos as well, but I mean, I'll do it anyway, because I really want to make my voice heard. I want the next Need for Speed game to be not just as good as Heat, but better than Heat, and have a lot more longevity than Heat. I'm sick of Need for Speed being the weakest racing game out of them all. It has the most potential. If you compare Need for Speed Heat at launch to the other racing games, Need for Speed Heat was one of the best. Heat is, in my opinion, the best racing game out there on this console right now, I think, honestly. Heat is definitely my favorite, but it could have been so much better. It should have been so much better. It should have had a lot more content. It should have had a lot more DLC, but for some reason that wasn't the case, and it's typical EA. But I mean, we'll see. We'll see. If it happens again in the next game, though, you won't get the benefit of the doubt for my 2023 wishlist videos. I can assure you right now, you will not get the benefit of the doubt whatsoever. Then again, we could still have a Need for Speed game made in 2022. Who knows? We might not even get it in 2021. And I don't know how I'd feel about that. We'll definitely get a better product though, right? I guess we'll see. Criterion, don't let us down, please, okay? Please. Listen to the community. Listen to people like me, Black Panther, Craptastic Jack, Straight Up Hippo, etc., etc. Listen to those people, and we'll make a Need for Speed game that we can be proud of, you know? And one that we are playing 6 months, a year, even 2 years. Something that will take us up until the next game. Maybe even make a multiplayer like the Crew 2. That's for another video. I'll see you guys then. Cheers for watching. If you liked it, hit that like button as fast as possibly can. Comment, share, and subscribe. Leave your suggestions down below. Leave any comments down below. Any disagreements, any agreements you have with me. I will answer everything. I always do. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace!